So today we'll be combining everybody's two favorite things, music and math. Long story short, the other day I was curious about what year had the best music. What end of the year best albums list within this decade was packed with masterpieces. I didn't really want to just look back and cherry pick my favorite projects because that would seem far less definitive and meaningful to everyone but me. I wanted numbers, statistics. I toyed with the idea of going through different album of the year lists, picking a set of albums, then going to different review websites, then averaging them out, yada yada yada, but that didn't really work. Not every end of the year list would be the same, I would need to start weighing in, and I wanted this to be about everyone else's opinions, not my own. So my best solution was to use Metacritic. They aggregate a bunch of reviews from different critics, average out the scores, and they put out lists of highest rated albums every year. To answer my question of what the best year in music is, I think it makes sense to just average out the average scores of the top 10 albums for every year. For example, if 2006's top 10 albums list on Metacritic was a bunch of really great scores, I would average them out and it would be a high score. That means the year had a lot of amazing music. And if 2009's top 10 albums list was mainly a bunch of good, not great scores, I would average them out and it would reflect that the year was decent. It did not have a bunch of great albums, maybe only one or two. So then I'd compare the 2006 score to the 2009 score, and I'd be able to say that 2006 was a better year for music. I understand that this is not a perfect formula. It's the most efficient thing that I could think of when trying to answer my ultimate question. And before we start, I just want to describe what exactly qualifies within the Metacritic lists. They only include albums that were rated by at least 15 critics or publications. That helps constitute it as a major release. With that in mind, I'm not going to be reading off super obscure albums that nobody has ever heard of that one magazine gave a perfect score. With the way they make these lists, that should not happen. So now I'm going to run through each Metacritic list from this decade. I'll tell you the albums, tell you the scores, I'll show you what the average score that I got for all of them is, and at the end we'll see what the best year for music is in the 2010s. P.S. I am not familiar with a fair amount of these albums and musicians. I'm going to do my best with pronunciation, but I might mess up a few times. Alright, let's do this. At number 10, we have Ghostface Killah's Apollo Kids with a score of 86, and then with scores of 87, there's The Suburbs by Arcade Fire, Body Talk by Robin, Silent Movies by Mark Ribot, and Airtight's Revenge by Bilal. At 5, we have Ali and Toumani by Ali and Toumani with a score of 89, then Big Boy's Sir Luscious Left Foot at 90, Jamie Johnson's The Guitar Song 91, Janelle Monáe's The Arc Android at 91, and then there's The Greatest Album Ever Made with a score of 93. When averaging out the top 10 albums of 2010, we get an average score of 88.8. 2011's list is ruled by the score of 86 out of 100. Tim Hecker's Rave Death 1972, Empros by Russian Circles, Stone Rollin' by Raphael Sadiq, Nicholas Yar's Space Is Only Noise, Bon Iver's self-titled album, Who Kill by Tune-Yards, and PJ Harvey's Let England Shake. At number 3 is my favorite project from The Weeknd, House of Balloons at 87, Undone by The Roots at 88, and Bad As Me by Tom Waits at 88. The average score of 2011's list is a light 86.5. 2012 starts with Dr. John's Locked Down at 86, then Grizzly Bear's Shields, Koi no Yokan by Deftones, and Bill Faye's Life is People, all at 86 too. Then we have The Seer by Swans at 87, All We Love We Leave Behind by Converge at 88, Lonerism by Tame Impala at 88, and The Idler Wheel by Fiona Apple at 89. We close out strong with Kendrick's Good Kid Mad City at 91, and Frank Ocean's Channel Orange at 92. 2012 score is 87.9. 2013 begins with Shaking the Habitual by The Knife at 85, Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap at 86, Laura Marling's Once I Was an Eagle at 86, Touche Amore is Survived By at 87, and Daft Punk's Random Access Memories at 87 too. Then we have more 87s for Tim Hecker's Virgins, Jason Isbell's Southeastern, and My Bloody Valentine's MBV. We close out the list with Julia Holter's Loud City Song at 89 and Deaf Heaven's Sunbather at 92. The average score for 2013 is 87.3. 2014's list opens with Aphex Twin's Cyro at 86, Sharon Van Etten Are We There 86, Perfume Genius Too Bright 87, Roseanne Cash's The River and the Thread 87, and Flying Lotus's You're Dead at 88. Then we have Pallbearer's Foundations of Burden 88, Swans to Be Kind 88, RTJ's Run the Jewels 2 at 89, St. Vincent's self-titled album at 89, and D'Angelo's Black Messiah at a whopping 95. 2014's average score is 88.3. 2015 starts with Jason Isbell's Something More Than Free 87, Vince Staples' Summertime 06 at 87, Julia Holter's Have You in My Wilderness 87, Art Angels by Grimes at 88, and Courtney Barnett's Sometimes I Sit and Think, Sometimes I Just Sit at 88. Then we have Joanna Newsom's Divers at 88, Napalm Death, Apex Predator, Easy Meat at 89, Slater Kinney's No Cities to Love at 90, one of my all-time favorites with Carrie and Lowell by Sufjan at 90, and Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly at 96. 2015 score is 89 even. At 2016, we start with Angel Olsen's My Woman, 87, David Bowie's Black Star, 87, Radiohead's A Moon-Shaped Pool, 88, Drive-By Truckers' American Band, 88, and Solange's A Seat at the Table, 89. Next, we have Chance the Rapper's Coloring Book at 90, A Tribe Called Quest's We Got It From Here at 90, Leonard Cohen's You Want It Darker, 92, Beyonce's Lemonade, 92, and Nick Cave and the Bad Seed Skeleton Tree at 95. Thinking back about this year is what made me do this video. Here are just a few of the albums that did not make the cut. Blonde, Puberty 2, 22 A Million, A Sailor's Guide to Earth, Teens of Denial, Untitled Unmastered, Malibu, and Atrocity Exhibition. That is a year for music. 2016 score is 89.8. 2017 starts with V by The Horrors at 87, Arca's self-titled album at 87, Plunge by Fever Ray at 87, Mass Seduction by St. Vincent at 88, and Vince Staples' Big Fish Theory at 89. Then we have Black Origami by Jlin at 89, The Dusk in Us by Converge at 90, Melodrama by Lorde at 91, A Crow Looked at Me by Mount Eerie at 93, and Kendrick Lamar's Damn at 95. 2017's average score is 89.6. 2018's list begins with Mitski Be the Cowboy at 87, Hookworm's Microshift 87, Earl Sweatshirt Some Rap Songs 87, Car Seat Headrest Twin Fantasy 87, and Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer at 87. Then we have Joy as an Act of Resistance by Idols at 88, Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour 89, Chris by Christine and the Queens 89, Robin's Honey 89, and No Name's Room 25 at 93. 2018's average score is 88.3. Finally, we arrive at 2019, and obviously we're only halfway through, so this will probably be different come December. We start off the list with Ariana Grande's Thank You Next, 86, Sharon Van Etten Remind Me Tomorrow, 86, Kate LeBon Reward, 87, Big Thief's UFOF at 87, and Fontaine's DC Doggerel 87. Then Aldous Harding Designer 88, Bill Callahan Shepherd in a Sheepskin Vest 88, Solange When I Get Home 89, Jamila Woods Legacy 89, and Weiss Blood Titanic Rising 91. 2019's average score is 87.8. So that's all the years, all the lists in this decade. Now let's look at them from worst to best. We go 2011 with a score of 86.5, 2013 with a score of 87.3, 2019 with a score of 87.8, 2012 with a score of 87.9, and then 2014 88.3, and 2018 88.3. Next is 2010 with a score of 88.8, and now we're at the really stacked years. 2015 with a score of 89, 2017 with a score of 89.6, and 2016 with a whopping score of 89.8. Very nearly averaging a score of 90 out of 100 for the albums in its top 10 list. I haven't really come to any wild conclusions here. I just wanted to see what year would be number 1 and if there would be any major differences from one span of time to another. It is interesting to me that there's a 3-point gap between last place and first place. When we're talking averages, that seems a little more significant in terms of a drop or rise in quality than I was expecting. I think there's also something to be said about all the albums that critics loved and audiences didn't, and vice versa. It's crazy to me that Blonde didn't make the top 10 for 2016, even though it's arguably one of the most iconic albums of the decade. Be sure to comment below with any thoughts you may have on this experiment. I'm super interested to see what everyone has to say. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, and thanks for watching. Thank you for watching that video. It's just a strange question that I had in my mind, so I made a video about it. If you want to support the channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media at RenshawHS. You can buy my merch, support my Patreon, and thank you so much. I'll see you soon.